We are going to cover a few historical highlights between 1947 to 1980. In the previous part, we have covered events like Indian soldiers fought for the British in World War II. India independence. India's mistakes after independence in bad leadership. India's best decision by Shri Nehru joining the non-alliance movement. If you haven't watched that part, please watch it and then watch this video, link in the description. In 1959, due to the bad leadership of Shri Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, China was able to occupy some areas in Arunachal Pradesh. The Soviet Union has called both the country and asked for negotiation, but Nehru didn't mention any area of Arunachal Pradesh that has been occupied by China during the conflict. India was not able to reclaim the land from China, but India has always been claiming the area lost till now. A few years after India's independence, India fought two wars continuously. The first war was with India's neighbor China and the second war was with Pakistan. Because of a weak leader like Shri Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, India lost the war with China in 1962. India has also lost the area in Ladakh. Shri Nehru was on a foreign tour and was not even sure about the country's war situation. Being the founding member of the United Nations, the same Nehru gave up the seat of P5 membership for China. India gave asylum to Buddhist religious leader Dalai Lama at the time, and the relationship with China started becoming worse day by day. Well, China is a friend to no one, not even to the Chinese. At the time of the Pakistan war in 1965, the Prime Minister of India was Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri.
जिस झंडे के नीचे हम आप खड़े हैं और आज बैठे हैं, आज इसकी हिफाजत और इसकी रक्षा का सवाल, इसकी शान बनाए रखना है। ये कायम रहे, हम रहें या न रहें, लेकिन ये झंडा रहना चाहिए और देश रहना चाहिए।
ये जो स्वराज्य आया है उसे हम मजबूती से अपने पास रखेंगे ताकि कोई दूसरा हमारी तरफ टेढ़ी नज़र भी उठाकर देखे तो हम उसका पूरी तरह से मुकाबला कर सकें। मैं आपसे कहूँगा कि दो नारे आज लगें। दो नारा अगर आप लगाएं तो वही असली नारा है आज देश की ज़रूरत के मुताबिक। एक तो जय जवान का और दूसरा जय किसान का। ये दो नारे मैं समझता हूँ कि आज हमारे देश के लिए ज़रूरी, एक जय जवान और एक जय किसान, और फिर उसी से सारे देश का एक जय हिंद का नारा लगता है।
The American government said that they will not export wheat to India if the Indians fight with Pakistan, and at that time the Indian Prime Minister urged Indians to sacrifice their meal one time so that the Indian army can eat the daily food to fight the war.
Prime Minister Shastri had just taken over the reins of a nation that had come out of a difficult war with China. Our armed forces were in the midst of a massive transition, and we faced a crippling food crisis. Pakistan, on the other hand, had received state-of-the-art American weapons and hardware. But Pakistan made a cardinal mistake. They forgot that the real strength of a nation's armed forces lies in its men and not its machines. The Indian soldier has always defended the motherland, even at the cost of his own life, and kept the tricolour flying high. Prime Minister Shastri gave the enemy a firm reply.
अगर तलवार की नोक पर या एटम बम के डर से कोई हमारे देश को झुकाना चाहे, दबाना चाहे, ये देश हमारा दबने वाला नहीं। तो एक सरकार के नाते हमारा क्या जवाब हो सकता है सिवाय इसके कि हम हथियारों का जवाब हथियारों से दें।
Здесь 4 января состоялось официальное открытие Ташкентской встречи. Председатель Совета министров СССР Косыгин и министр иностранных дел СССР Громыко встречают государственных деятелей двух стран. Президент Пакистана Мохаммед Аюб Хан,
Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri was called to USSR to sign an agreement between India and Pakistan to resolve the conflict of the war.
В 16 часов по ташкентскому времени одновременно распахиваются двери, участники переговоров входят в зал и занимают места за круглым столом. Президенту Пакистана и премьер-министру Индии обращается председатель Совета министров СССР Алексей Николаевич Косыгин.
Уважаемый господин премьер-министр, мы рады приветствовать в столице Узбекской Советской Социалистической Республики, в городе Ташкенте, господина Лала Бахадура Шастри и господина Мохаммеда Аюб Хана, выдающихся государственных деятелей двух великих азиатских стран – Индии и Пакистана, к народам которых народы Советского Союза питают чувства искреннего уважения и дружбы. Советское правительство с глубоким удовлетворением восприняло согласие президента Пакистана и премьер-министра Индии встретиться в Ташкенте, чтобы установить непосредственные контакты в целях улучшения отношений и ликвидации конфликта между Индией и Пакистаном.
В своем выступлении премьер-министр Индии Лал Бахадур Шастри заявил:
It is with great pleasure that I express on my behalf
«Я с величайшим удовольствием от себя лично и от имени своей делегации выражаю нашу благодарность за гостеприимство, которое было нам оказано, и за внимание и заботу, которые были проявлены нам. Очень теплый прием, оказанный нам жителями Ташкента, глубоко растрогал нас.
was indeed very moving.
Мы дали немедленный и положительный ответ на ваше приглашение принять участие во встрече в Ташкенте. Цель установления мира, которая вас вдохновляла, поистине благородна. Мир жизненно необходим и для Индии, и для Пакистана, и более того, для всего человечества в целом. Мы должны попытаться открыть новую главу в истории индийско-пакистанских отношений.
To try to open a new chapter in Indo-Pakistan relationship.
Президент Пакистана Мохаммед Аюб Хан с глазу на глаз.
Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri went to USSR and signed the agreement to stop the war.
Миллионного населения полуострова Индостан.
He signed the agreement under the pressure from the USSR, manipulated by the USA to pull back the Indian army from Pakistan's captured land by the Indian army. On the same day, Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri died at night because of a heart attack. India won that war but lost its Prime Minister. Since 1944, India was working on nuclear weapons and nuclear energy programs under the leadership of Shri Jehangir Bhabha, and Jehangir Bhabha was a very intelligent person in the field of physics and has done research projects in the same college of Germany where Albert Einstein has given his mass energy theory. Shri Bhabha was very near to completing his nuclear program. In the US, he promised that he will provide India with a nuclear bomb very soon. He was also confident about making India a nuclear energy capable country to fulfill its energy requirements.
Note of warning to the conference.
Immense concentration of atomic energy has made possible other developments whose immediate results have been less happy and which have placed a pall of fear over the peoples of the world. I refer, of course, to the development of atomic and hydrogen bombs. a widespread atomic power industry in the world will necessitate an international society in which the major states have agreed to maintain peace.
With
US was not happy with this and planted a Kia agent to manipulate the Air India's Boeing 707 airplane to kill the Bhabha in a plane crash in Europe. Due to this, India's nuclear program got lagged by 18 years. The year was 1966 and India lost its two great heroes.
For disclaimer, news or line tagged with the era is and will try its best to provide you with the most authentic and real news. Though we do not claim or authenticate the information provided, the purpose of this content is to share the information and for knowledge purposes. All the image, video, and audio footage used are either from the government website or from other sources. The credit is total to the respective person or organization claiming the content or footage with the authentic claiming evidence and rights.